I remember touching down in London 2012 for the Olympic Games, and there was massive excitement around the Games, as you can imagine. To make matters worse, I landed on the day of the opening ceremony, which just heightened everything. And I remember on my way to the hotel, in the taxi or in a London cab, we drove past a petrol station, and Oscar Pistorius' face was on this huge billboard outside. And I was a little bit surprised because I wasn't too sure what to expect when I touched down in London. And there were some huge British athletes that were competing at the London Games. I mean, Jessica Innes, Mo Farah, these are the kind of people that I expected to be on these massive billboards. And instead it was Oscar Pistorius, South Africa's very own Oscar Pistorius. And it made me realize that he wasn't just a South African hero, he wasn't just a South African star, but he really was an absolute draw card. He was the biggest draw card of the London 2012 Olympic Games. As the Games got underway and I started seeing the amount of excitement that was around Oscar Pistorius, every media, every single journalist wanted a piece of Oscar. And I was lucky enough to be invited to a training session outside Twickenham to go and watch Oscar Pistorius train. And I remember so clearly watching him deal with the media. And he was suave, he was slick, he knew how to talk to the cameras, and every single journo ate it up. They were on the edge of every single word that Oscar Pistorius had to say.
It's just amazing to be here. It kind of feels a bit surreal at times. I mean, we've been into the village and, you know, everybody was walking around there with eyes like saucers. It's a phenomenal experience, really. And then the opening ceremony was something that kind of, you know, we were outside for a while, a couple of hours going in, and just the excitement constantly building up by the time we got into the stadium, just to look around and realize that we actually here. It's the hardest thing to describe. It's just unbelievable. It's truly humbling.
The mere fact that he became the first disabled person to ever run or compete in an able-bodied games was already history in itself. I remember very clearly he went on to come second in his heat and he qualified for the semi-finals. He got knocked out in those semi-finals, but it didn't matter about the result. The mere fact that the Blade Runner, South Africa's very own Oscar Pistorius, I mean, he was there competing at the Olympic Games. And it was funny to see how at the end of that semi-final, no one ran towards the winner of the race. All the runners turned back and went to Oscar. And it was hugs and high fives around to Oscar. And it made you realize that he really was breaking down barriers here. And it wasn't about winning, it wasn't about losing. It was the fact that he had won his battle to be viewed and regarded as an equal. Here was this South African guy competing at the London Games with these carbon fiber blades in the able-bodied Olympics. It really was just the most historical thing in the world. He was on every newspaper, on every single billboard, every single TV commercial, all over the radios as well. And that was our very own Oscar Pistorius. And now that we head into the trial, it's crazy, it's mind-blowing to think where we were in 2012 and how the world viewed and regarded Oscar Pistorius and the situation that he finds himself in now.